Good day, class. I am Kyser Coderias and I am your professor for today's discussion. But before we start, I want you to guess what will be our topic for today. And I will flash the scrambled letters on the screen. I will give you 10 seconds. Okay, all of your answers are correct. The scrambled letters is food preservation. For today's topic, we will be discussing the different types of food preservation. To make this discussion successful, let us all be guided by the following objectives. First, to define and differentiate the different types of food preservation. The second one is show understanding why we need to know the different types of food preservation. So now, let's define food preservation. When we say food preservation, this is the process of treating and handling food to stop or slow down food spoilage, loss of quality, edibility, or nutritional value, and thus allow for longer food storage. You know that there are different ways to preserve food. First one is salting. Salting is an age-old way of preserving food. The salt draws out moisture and prevents microorganisms from growing. In this process, foods such as fresh fish are gutted, washed, and coarse salt is rubbed into it. And salting is the easiest type of preservation. And salting can be done in two ways. First, adding a lot of salt to the food, and last, soaking the food in a salt solution. Bacteria and fungi cannot grow in a salty condition, hence, salted foods last longer. Salting will change the taste, the color, destroy food nutrition. The next way of preservation is freezing. Freezing is the process of chilling foods to at least 0 degree Fahrenheit. It can be used with all foods. True freezing is not possible in the freezer compartment of your refrigerator, where the temperature is typically much warmer, between 10 degrees to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And in freezing, it helps to preserve foods, slowing the action of enzymes and prevents the growth of microorganisms. The next one is drying, or let's just say dehydrating food. This is one of the oldest and one of the easiest methods of food preservation. Dehydration, the process of removing water or moisture from a food product. Drying is done by exposing the food under the heat of the sun to eliminate its water content. Then the next one is processing. Processing is the conversion of raw materials or ingredients into consumer food product. Raw foods typically arrive at a food processing facility in a fragile state. They must be quickly stabilized to prevent deterioration. Most non-meat and their product respire, meaning they use oxygen and sugar and convert it to carbon dioxide and water. Some processing food methods are canning and fermentation. When we say canning, canning is the process of applying heat to food that's sealed in a jar in order to destroy any microorganisms that can cause food spoilage. It is also a replacement for freezing and refrigeration. But when we say fermentation, fermentation is achieved by soaking or saturating the food in adequate amount of salt to prevent it from spoiling and would even have a better taste. You know, class, that always remember that food preservation should be done safely and sanitary to prevent microorganisms like yeast, molds, and bacteria. Prepare necessary tools, equipment, and ingredients before starting. Return everything to their respective storage once you are done in your task. But if you are planning to preserve food, just always choose those that are in season so you can buy them at a lower price. Producing and selling preserved food is a good way to sustain family income. It is necessary to plan and have adequate knowledge about food preservation before starting a project. Having a positive outlook and work ethics can save time, resources, and most especially energy. And if you don't mind, class, it is also one way to express your feelings towards your peers about what food you wanted to do or make it as good start. Food preservation can be suitable for a small business venture for people looking for ways to supplement family income. Is everything clear? Do you have any question? Okay, very good, class. Now that we are done with our discussion about different ways of food preservation, Can someone reiterate the different ways of food preservation? Bautista? Very good. And now, who among you can share the importance of food preservation, or what's the importance of food preservation? Yes, Sidro? That's right. For your homework, make a photo collage about each methods of food preservation. Send it through Google Classroom until tomorrow before our new class. That's all for today, class. Class dismissed.